Hi, my name is Haley Brown, and I will be presenting the arguments for physician-assisted death.
And my name is Lisa, and I'll be presenting the arguments against physician-assisted death.
Physician-assisted death is also referred to as active and passive euthanasia, physician-assisted suicide, and physician assistance in dying. The formal definition involves a doctor knowingly and intentionally providing a person with knowledge, means, or both, required to commit suicide, including counseling about lethal doses, prescribing such doses, or supplying the drugs. Physician-assisted death is currently legal in 5 U.S. states: Oregon, Vermont, Washington, California, and Montana by a court ruling.
So here's just some history on physician-assisted death. Starting in June 1997, the Supreme Court ruled that state laws banning physician-assisted suicide do not go against the Constitution. And then in October 1997, Oregon signed their Death with Dignity Act, which made physician-assisted suicide legal in their state. Fast forward 11 years later, Washington also signed their Death with Dignity Act. And then May 2013, Vermont signed their form of the Death with Dignity Act, which was called the Patient Choice and Control at End of Life Act. And then in October 2015, the California governor signed an act that made physician-assisted suicide legal for patients with terminal illnesses.
My first argument for physician-assisted death comes from James Rachels in his article Active and Passive Euthanasia, which is found in our textbook. First, he distinguishes between active and passive euthanasia. He defines active euthanasia as the direct action designed to kill a patient, and passive euthanasia as withholding treatment and allowing a patient to die. Rachel says that it is wrong to prolong suffering needlessly by withholding treatment because in this scenario, a patient may take longer to pass away than if direct action were taken. Rachel proposes the question, is killing someone morally worse than allowing someone to die? To examine this, he uses 2 different scenarios. In the first scenario, he uses a man named Smith. Smith stands to gain a large inheritance if his 6-year-old cousin dies. While his cousin is taking a bath, Smith goes in and drowns him, and then arranges it so it looks like it was an accident. In the second scenario, Jones also stands to gain a large inheritance if his 6-year-old cousin dies. He plans to drown his cousin, but as he walks in, he sees his cousin slip and fall face down into the water. Jones stands by and offers no assistance. So the question here is, did either man behave better from a moral standpoint? Rachel says no. They both acted from the same motive with the same end view in mind. Therefore, he concludes that the bare difference between killing and letting someone die does not make for a moral difference. My second argument for physician-assisted death comes from Paul Menzel in his article Advanced Directives, Dementia, and Physician-Assisted Suicide, published in the Journal of Law, Medicine, and Ethics. Menzel argues that there are 2 basic moral arguments for physician-assisted death. The first one states that it is cruel to force terminally ill patients to continue suffering needlessly. The second argument deals with autonomy. Menzel says that autonomy focuses on the right of people to make crucial decisions about how their lives will go for themselves without influence from the state. Menzel argues that the same level of autonomy and the right to refuse life-sustaining treatment should be granted in a right to a dignified death.
My first argument against physician-assisted suicide is by David Boudin in his article How to Argue Against Active Euthanasia. Boudin provides the example of a man named Mo. He is terminally ill and says his life has no meaning. Mo asks the physician to give him a lethal dose of morphine to end his life. By the physician agreeing to aid in the death of Mo, that infers that the doctor agrees that the patient's life has no meaning. This is a safe assumption because if the physician didn't agree with the claim, he wouldn't be okay with actively participating in his death. The issue this brings up with physician-assisted suicide is that it implies if someone asks you to kill them, it is okay to do so, which goes against the morals that we've learned since such a young age. My second argument is by Francis Denon in his article Levinas and the Hippocratic Oath, a discussion of physician-assisted suicide. Denon gives the argument that we have an ethical obligation to preserve life. He centers this argument around 3 things: the sanctity of life, respect for life, and the religious belief that we should not intervene because only God can take away what he has given, which in this case is a life. The religious argument is a big argument for a lot of people because God has a plan and we should not interfere into what we don't know. This leads into the support that Denon gives for his argument, in which he states that in some cases, patients experience a few hours of calm just before their death, which many use to make peace with their family, friends, and loved ones, or even their God. And his point in saying this is we as humans don't know if they will experience this short time of calm before their passing, so who are we to intervene into someone making amends with a loved one?
In conclusion, each side has developed strong counter-arguments, but neither side has managed to alter the opinions of the other by the use of rational argument, according to Soren Holm in his article published in the Journal of Medical Ethics. Perhaps it is because these opinions are so deeply rooted in societal, personal, or religious beliefs.
My quote also comes from Soren Holmes in his article published in the Journal of Law, Medicine, and Ethics, and it states, in the United States, the changes in attitudes to physician-assisted death fit with a long-term secular shift where each generation has more liberal views than the preceding generation. And this basically means that the younger generations seem to be more open to ideas like physician-assisted death, whereas older generations stick to their values and see it as morally wrong.
Here's our works cited page. Is there any questions?